that must have had 8 or 9 officers up there. Deputy Chief was the only one that could do it twice.
Through the chair, Officer Nick Hill thumped me on either his first or second throw as soon as I got up there. So, but again, appreciate all of them supporting their time and going out and helping raise some money for the Taylor School Foundation and the Rotary. That was a good time. Weather was very cold.
All right, any further communications, Mr. Mayor?
Nope, that is it. Thank you.
All right, thank you. That brings us to the regular agenda. Item 7.1 is a motion to approve setting a public hearing pursuant to section 6.16 of the Taylor City Charter with Judge Martha M. Snow subpoena to attend and be questioned on August 7th, 2024.
Or no, this is one correction.
This is, no, so this was amended.
Yep, I got it.
Just as a note, the first council meeting in August is delayed one day. The primary election day will be on August 6th, so the council will meet on Wednesday, August 7th. Is there a motion?
Make a motion.
Is there support? Motion by Councilman Johnson, supported by Councilwoman Whitten. Is there any discussion?
Chairman,
Councilwoman.
can we just give an explanation so the residents understand what this is in regards to?
Certainly. As an explanation, the Judge Martha M. Snow ordered the entire city council, Taylor City Council, to appear before her courtroom. She made some public statements that I believe need to be reviewed. And certainly, as our charter states, we do have subpoena power. So that is what we are doing here at this point.
Chairman,
Councilwoman.
I would like to get an explanation from Mr. Plato, our Corporation Counsel. Does this, are we allowed to subpoena? I read the subpoena powers differently. Can you explain it? And I probably am reading it wrong, but tell me how this works.
Mr. Plato,
Yeah,
from
I didn't get a
from
chance.
my review, any issue affecting the city of Taylor would be within our purview. So, Mr. Plato, if you read that section, it's actually pretty broad, at least in my interpretation of it. Certainly, the public comments from the judge were about the city of Taylor and had a potential impact on the city of Taylor, and therefore the idea would be to have those records of the transcripts from that meeting. Also to explain the possible conflict of interest of having 6 members of the Taylor City Council assembled. We needed to publish a public hearing, and we convened, well, we did not convene, but it's my understanding that the judge wanted us to convene a city council meeting in downtown Detroit, which would have been a historical event. And so that is, could be a number of the questions. Certainly the council themselves may have other questions. But Mr. Clinton.
Through the chair. There are really 2 sections in the city charter that allow to give the council subpoena power. One is section 6.11 regarding investigations. That section I reviewed, I believe it only allows the review of records and subpoenaing of witnesses for matters internal to the city. Section 6.16, which is part of the motion that's been brought, is much broader. It basically says record, even though I may have to appear in front of her in the future. I think it caused all sorts of problems for the city with regard to keeping in compliance with the Open Meetings Act. I think it was also a clear interference with the legislative process of this city council. And it was just a judge trying to influence this council's decision, which this council had absolutely every right to make. And it was wrong for multiple reasons, but clearly, in my opinion, was contrary to the law in the state of Michigan.
Any further, Councilman?
I would just like to ask the Corporation Council, is holding this hearing to question the judge, is that the appropriate way to do this, or is this something that maybe should have been handled differently beforehand, maybe the attorney's question prior to us going down there?
Through the chair, I had requested, and I think the administration had requested that the attorneys that were assigned to the case, that were defending the case in front of Judge Snow, to somehow bring to her attention that this was contrary to the Michigan law and all the problems that it would present, bringing council people down there who, during the day particularly, when most of the council had other obligations to attend to. I don't know exactly what was done, if anything was done. I know it was impressed upon them to do so, so I don't know if anything was done ahead of time, as I think we all felt it should have been. There are other ways we can address the issue. I think the only problem I see with the subpoena, or one of the main problems, is I think the state of Michigan will appoint the Attorney General to represent the judge, who will immediately bring probably a motion to quash the subpoena. So I wouldn't expect Judge Snow to ever actually appear here, because the Attorney General's office would prevent that from happening. I think another avenue would be to file a formal complaint with the Judicial Tenure Commission, which is that commission's responsibility to review the actions of judges. Judge Snow would then have to respond to that complaint, and we would be entitled to see a copy of that response that she files to the complaint.
Any further discussion from the council? Please come forward.
Council, Chairman, Mayor, just a question. If in fact, let's say the judge did appear to this hearing, would it be in fact an open hearing or would it be closed door?
To be an open hearing, she would be standing right where you were standing.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Okay, thank you.
Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
All those opposed say no. The yeses have it, motion carried. Item 7.2 is a motion to receive and file Detroit Region Aerotropolis CMAC presentation regarding future development in Taylor.
Motion?
Motion by Councilman Whitten, supported by Councilman Johnson. Is there any discussion?
Chairman,
Councilman?
can we get an explanation of what is our involvement here and what does this mean? This agreement, what are we agreeing to?
Through the chair, Mr. Gerwick, Chris Gerwick from Aerotropolis is going to come up. Basically, Aerotropolis is going to handle this. They do handle this, so I figured since we paid them dues that they could handle this. But right now, it's just kind of a presentation of the company, what they do, and what they're eventually going to be seeking. So this is just basically a preliminary situation. Nobody is going to be voting on any sort of abatement or anything tonight. That's correct, right?
That's correct. Please come forward.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Councilman Mayor.
And can you state your name and position?
Yes, my name is Christopher Gervin. I'm the CEO of the Detroit Regional Aerotropolis Development Corporation.
I'm Scott Christie. I'm one of the owners and president of CMAC Transportation.
And so in your handout, you have an overview of CMAC. So I'd like to hand it over to Scott just to give you an overview of the business.
Yeah, so first of all, thank you for your time. We are a disabled veteran-owned logistics and transportation company. My father is a disabled veteran. As you can see from the packet, I put our certificate and some of our certifications Ford, Stellantis, Harley Davidson, and Wabaska Roof Systems. A lot of them are